take the fights because he's pretty good at that. So I suppose there's more opportunities there. Assuming, yeah, Wolfie's not here, right? So we already confirmed that.
Just let him entry out, man.
You could, but it's not the same at all.
I'll tell you something that's always going to feel unnatural to me is seeing Party Astronauts in the server and Ponalon on the other side of it.
Yes, I know. Yesterday, I kept thinking we were watching Party Astronauts when we were watching Boss, right? Just because Ponalon was there. He was a staple to the roster.
Yeah, he and Ben Lead playing together for, I think, 5 years. It's an insanely long run in the world of Counter-Strike. So, bomb down. It's a nice start for PA. Full retake for Boss, and, well, they're all coming from one side of this. Not exactly ideal. See what they got. They're being heard. It's no secret. Here comes the strike. Ben overwhelmed. 6E also washed out of the pit. Falls to Pone alone, but he can't get back towards that bomb. It will be PA walking away.
All right, PA picking up the first pretty cleanly there in the pistol round. And yeah, I guess we're going to get answers to our question as to who's going to be the opper and who will take care of the entry duties. I'm very curious. Ben has used the op in the past, more as a secondary opper when they go for a double op setup. So maybe Ben takes those duties. I mean, when you have an opper like 60 though available to you, it's a hard call because he was pretty strong with it when he used it in the past. So many questions, but the answers will come, I suppose. 2 AKs, a Galil, and 2 MAC-10s coming through for the Party Astronauts on the Boss side. They're forcing up. They got a couple of scouts. In fact, usually it's Pone Alone rocking that himself, but the IGL Cryptic is also going to have one. I mean, it is Overpass, so a lot of very long-range engagements that you can take with those.
Caution showed from the Party Astronauts.
Yeah, they're slowing it down.
Party Molotov. No reason to get overly antsy on this. Now they'll start to work some control of bathrooms. Cryptic could be under threat. Whoa, there's the spot. Yeah, there's the tag, and he is done for. Classy dropped out long. Could be a gun retrievable. Got to be a little cautious with how you deal with the bomb here. But alone, though, that's a tough fight, and indeed, you can see the rifle barrel jerk up as the aim punch got him. It's just not going to happen. Fang! Well, with that rifle might have been the 1 point of resistance, but at this point, Freshy and Darty might just want to save what little they've got. This one's a done deal. PA start clean.
Nicely done for PA. As I mentioned in the pregame, I do expect PA to have the edge in this matchup.
Yeah, especially seeing the veto.
Yeah, like the veto is just so favorable for them. And yeah, even on Ancient, we saw yesterday how well they kind of composed themselves on Ancient against Nouns. It took double overtime, but they won it. And they were down at one point by a significant margin. They still were able to come back. And the only difference is that the only thing that might be different today is that Wolfie, who obviously is too sick to play, was their top frag with 24 frags. But not to say the rest of the team didn't perform well, but he's a very good Ancient player that we'll be missing. That said, against Take Flight, they won 13-5, and 60 was their best player at 19 frags. So I don't necessarily think having Wolfie or not having him will be that big of a deal, at least not in this series.
It does feel as well like PA is a team sort of on the cusp of ascending again, right? Like it's been a long time since we felt this way about them. Frankly.
Yeah. Yes.
Party Astronauts has been in the doldrums for a year plus at this point. And that's changed. Even in that matchup against Nouns, right? So fierce. I think the addition... I mean, Rush wasn't even the server yesterday when we were watching. But I think the addition of him, I think the firepower that Classia brought, I think this team's getting punchy again.
It feels like it.
It's a good place for NA to be. We want a punchy PA team.
Absolutely. I think Ben is just such a good IGL as well. He uses the pieces he has and deploys them so effectively. And it just took some time, right? Because they were rusty and then the roster wasn't the same after that whole EG run. Anyway, but I'm with you, Mike. I'm glad to see that they're coming through and getting things back in order, so to speak. 4v4 now as a quick exchange happened at the beginning of this round. Boss, just the pistols along with that hero AK and Pone Alone's hands, or saved AK from Pone Alone. And it doesn't really matter, though. It won't come into play as they're going to plant the bomb on the A side. And I imagine Pone is just going to want to save this.
Yeah. There's no reason to risk the AK. Yeah, you can know about the next, but your chance to really hamper this economy early has already passed. right? Like, yes,
Yeah.
if you killed all 4 here, that would be good. But the AK's a bigger prize. There's just no reason to risk it. Flank on. 60. Would like some money off the SMG. And they're out of here.
Gone. All right. Very clean start for the party astronauts here on their pick of Overpass. Boss will finally have a buy-up of their own. I'm also wondering, Mike, if PA might opt not to use the AWP, which is like a very significant decision that you would have to make. On CT side, you kind of have to run it. I don't see how you don't run it on a map like Overpass because you kind of need it. But on T side, they could easily not use it here. See how they deploy. The big green Fang waiting with the HE is going to dunk that down into water. It's going to miss everything. Chop will just silently wait here for his opportunity to either strike or for his team to join up with him, depending on where they decide to deploy themselves. It looks like they're going to have 3 players go down long A, slowly but surely. 1 at short A, and maybe Con more than short A right now, but will eventually end up there. So an A hit on the cards.
So you're an on the cards guy, not an in the cards guy, huh?
How can you be in the cards?
It's the same as saying. Just a different way of saying it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
In the cards, like tarot cards.
Oh,
Cards
I
that
see.
foretold.
Yeah. I like on the cards, though, because like there's stuff on the cards themselves, right? So, I don't know. It works both ways, you're right.
It is a regionalism. Phone alone strikes. I think one's British, one's American. Oh, that's a primo kill. It's looking dangerous if I left Pone alone alive, but as it is, bomb now planted. There's some flashes to get back over. There's a smoke for Darty. That's huge. Allows them to go for a retake without having to clear out bathrooms necessarily. If they need to go for the defuse. But actually, PA are sticking close at hand. They don't want to risk getting caught in rotation. So not giving up this ground. Time's starting to become short. Darty and Freshy a little hesitant on it. They've overlooked Truck. They've completely overlooked Truck. They have no idea Ben's here. He could just be the insurance policy.
Ben!
Okay.
Oh,
no. Slight mechanical malfunction, but it's all good. Job's there. That's why he's an IGL.
Oh, yeah, Ben, we have to have a bit of a chat about that
No,
one.
no, he's good.
Sir,
He's
even
good.
as an
Happens.
IGL, I don't know about that, man.
Happens.
I don't know.
Happens.
It's
Happens.
okay. They win the round. Chop was there. You're absolutely right. 4 AKs and the AWP available, and you're right as well about 60 using it. So that will change the dynamic a little bit for the party astronauts. I'm curious to see who's the tip of the spear now, because it was almost always 60 before this point. You see Chop kind of hunting a little bit, but I feel like this is more of a lurk towards the B site. I'm going to keep an eye out for that. I mean, it was the obvious choice, right? Because 60 has the most experience with it. It's just, how do you change everything else around that?
Yeah. Well, shoot people in heads at the end of the day.
Yes.
I would imagine Classy is going to take a lot of what 60 likes to do. Normally in
I think
terms of the
so.
entry roles, because Classy, like that is one of the easiest positions to slot a player into. It's like, yeah, maybe flash timings can be a little off, but Classy has played with a lot of these players before, so there's an element of like, okay, 1, 2, 3, and go in and kill everybody, Classy up.
Yeah, well, I mean, 60's also going to have to take care of the flash duties, which he's not usually doing. I mean, he's sometimes on, like, I think 3rd or 4th on the team.
You remember, though,
he was good with it, though, in the past, yeah.
Yeah, in that, oh, what were they called before Wildcard picked them up?
Well, I don't remember. Hold on.
Whatever they were called before Wildcard picked them up, the Stanislaw roster, 60 was actually taking on a lot more supportive roles, which was an unusual evolution for him as a player. Didn't really expect to see that, frankly. Big kill for Fang. Oh, Chop. Oh, Chop. Here's them rotating off. He's actually got so many columns. 15 seconds. The problem is they can't bail back out. So Chop can't really do anything with this. He needs a kill. And actually, I think he's been too conservative, if anything, in this spam.
Oh, dang.
Saved by Rush. That could have been the round, purely on
Yeah.
timing. Instead, now, they got a question about whether they even want to go for this retake.
I don't think so.
But they can't save. They don't know it yet. But they can't save. Ponalone's down. Chop's in the back lines. How do you get away from this?
At least they know now, but the problem is they lost the op. That was the biggest piece in this round. You have a FAMAS and an MP9 outside of that. Oh, man. Chop. Spotted out. There it is. The barrel of the rifle is seen there by Darty. Darty. Spamming away, and he loses the fight. What a peek from Chop. Darty getting CS2'd. Freshy surviving with just an MP9. That is so bad for Boss, looking at their economy and everything. Yes, the loss bonus is full, but an MP9 when there was an op available still in that round, and a FAMAS even, is not good.
No. Suboptimal. Also not good, John. 5-0 on the board if you're a Boss fan.
Mm-hmm.
Not great. Looking less like the boss and maybe more like the intern.
We knew that there were going to be hiccups for them. We don't have to pick on them too much, especially with the change in the roster. And I mean, they're also dealing with role adjustments, with Brett having done a little more than Fang, I would say, in terms of entries and even flashes.
Yeah.
Fang's your pure fragger. He's not going to be setting up flashes for you. You want to be setting up flashes for him.
Damage early, but losing that pure fragger in Fang. Not ideal. It's double pushed short play. Could catch something, but they're being cautious. I think the one big risk for Party Astronauts in some of these rounds has been the clock. It's kind of the Overpass last classic.
Oh!
Quick switch? That was a quick switch. That was a Q press for 60. Phone alone now pressures it. He's going to get pinched. I mean, Classy is going to have this kill. It's just a matter of time. There it comes through, but that does set up Freshy for one more dip out of short. They're rotating. They're leaving him alone.
Yeah, they have time.
This does put Chop in a little bit of an awkward position because Classy has gone in to make sure he doesn't rotate through the site, but actually Freshy's coming up con.
Yeah, Chop has to go long. He cannot go. Yeah, good. Okay, if he goes short, he's going to get completely blindsided. I say good, but that's for Party Astronauts. Good. Bad for Boss, because Freshy now has to run all the way to the site. Maybe.
They have to cross.
Seconds.
He hears them running. He gets confirmation. Oh, are they going to expect him to be this close? They should be aware. But there's the bomb. There it's checked. 12 seconds. It's all about this kill. Dancing around the dice. Freshy just trying to buy time. Trying to buy precious clock and altitude. Is not enough for Glacia. Beautifully played from Freshy. Boss finally on the board. And that was an eco.
That was an eco with the only gun saved over. I criticize it. The MP9. It ends up being the hero.
Bro,
in that 1v2
against ecos, man.
Yes,
it is their demon.
It really is, and we saw it yesterday against Nouns. Those are the rounds where we're like, why is PA losing them? Why is this happening? And again, it comes through, and it's just Freshy. It was before that he got one on the player trying to rotate back into con. That was his first, and then he makes a really smart decision, just immediately rotating off, getting a great read. And even though Chop tries to sidestep him by going towards long, Freshy is already at the bomb site before they've crossed over and cleared it. Fang gets the opener here. That could be what Boss needed to wake up here and light a fire under themselves to get into this map. 5v4. I'd love to see Fang really get his fragging groove on as well from this roster. Darty gets the second frag of the round for his squad, and a third. No, Chop manages to get two. Only 10 HP left, but he's done it, giving his team a chance at the very least of getting this bomb site. Ponalone gets tagged down to 63, and there indeed is the plant.
Chop and Class, yeah. Boy, the nade takes him down low. They're both so very low, and this flank is developing. Glacia gone, ankles spotted, and ankles are enough for Cryptic. Boss can now keep this going. They get the round, but most importantly, they keep 3 players alive. They're going to get a chance to make a game of this.
Oh, yeah. That was a really nice round again. Good defense being put up. Everyone getting into the mix. Darty in particular with 2 frags on the defensive side. And you get a second round for a Boss. Thing is, for the Party Astronauts, that bomb plant, yields them a buy, basically. Like, they can go for AKs, Galils, and utility into this round versus without the bomb plant, you're probably looking at a half buy and just pistols. Maybe a MAC 10 in the mix. So that helps them out immensely. It was a nice job by Klassia. Along with Chop. I should say Chop, particularly Chop, because he got 2 frags to open up that space. So the party astronauts are going to try and mix things up a little bit here. A couple of players at Playground waiting for a push because Boss have been pretty aggressive into Fountain. Fang is already at Fountain. His teammate backing him up. Cryptic is gone. Fang is doubled back into party now.
Under pressure. Pwn alone here to support if a player comes up con. So at least Fang doesn't have to worry about that for the moment. But a 5v4 early. Party Astronauts try and keep the pressure up. This is where their cash will run out, right? So this is a big opportunity for Boss. And Fang is gone, just keeping it quiet. Going off the contact, everything works. Ponalon's got a bevy of utility left behind him, but he's going to need all of it. He's actually going to slow them down.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like Fang's positioning there, isolated alone, not in a position to get a trade set up. I guess he's kind of stuck, right? Because of the spot that happened earlier. Klassia's going to get one onto Pwn alone, and this is probably done now.
Yeah, it has to be a save. Again, Freshie and Darty in a position where they just can't even think about going up top. That was Party Astronauts winning every fight with barely a resistance, right? That was constantly players getting caught out of position. You win the first duel off the aggression. You catch the second player just around in towards Party. Fang caught with his pants down. And then Pwn alone gets caught in transition, forced out, flushed out. Even if he gets that first kill, he probably still dies falling back, and the end result's virtually the same. It's a nicely called round from Party Astronauts, nicely executed. Let's see if Chop can pry any of these guns away before this round expires. No. No is the answer.
Freshie barely survives the engagement, though, at 11 HP, but they're happy to at least keep 2 A1Ss into this next round. It'll make this next one much more viable in terms of a buy-up. Problem is, your round win streak's over. Party Astronauts have struck back. They get the 6 for themselves, and their economy did not break. It bent, did not break in that little run that Boss are putting together. So I'm pretty sure everyone survived that previous round for them, so that helps even more. Smoke's going to come out immediately here, trying to stop the Party Astronauts from getting playground control, which was effective from that Molotov, but a smoke goes right into it, even though PA are going to avoid that area. Boss, 2 players set up here, and Fang gets the 2K. He's got support as well, so he goes for the aggression, finds himself 4! Okay, Fang, there's the fragging power we were hoping to see. Rush the last one standing.
Can he get the ace? Can he get the ace? On board with Fang, he's going hunting. He wants the ace. He wants it. Phone alone. Gonna be dropped down. Fang with the face, and he's got it! An ace on for the new man on campus. Fang announces himself in the server.
Wow, that is quite the play from Fang. His second ace so far in the qualifier, by the way. I can't recall when the first one was. I believe it was against Nouns at some point. But anyway, look, very nicely done from Fang. He pulls it off all by his lonesome. And that's honestly what we want to see more of from him. You know, and that if he was, I think one of the things that he struggled through in his career is consistency. He's still very young, of course, but if he can be consistently that type of fragger and take the aggression and be effective, yeah, that's really good. That's just amazing.
He's very hot and cold as well. That's something that has definitely been the case in terms of the consistency. It's like, you know, if he gets one of those big rounds, suddenly he's a different beast. Suddenly he's a different guy. You know, when he's feeling himself, he can take over the server, take over games. And that is the kind of round where when you give that over to Fang, you do have to be aware it might be a different player in the server with you now.
Well,
3.5 by this? What does this wind up being? It's kind of a weird money spot for PA, but they're also fully aware that they have already gotten more rounds than they probably should have been allowed this half. So yeah, it's kind of like, what's our best approach to squeak out 1 or 2 more here, and we'll be pretty damn happy.
I mean, I like the Hero AK from 60. You know, he's used to taking those big fights. And he's going to try and go for an entry here, I would imagine.
I just love Chop, my humble king. Dude's top of the board, top of the server, 12 and 5. Like, lights out better than any other player in the server right now in terms of numbers. He's still like, I'll take the Glock and throw flashes for you. Don't worry about it.
He's incredibly an incredible player in that regard, right? He's such a team player. Honestly, I think any team would love to have him. Fresh is going to get a 2K. Ben Lee and Sixy gone. Darty, make sure Rush is the next one to exit the server in this round. Chop is the last one. Picked up the AK off the ground. Let's see if he can do something with it. Anything can help, and nothing will happen. 4th round found for Boss off of Fang's ace in the previous one.
You like to see it. They're going to give themselves a chance here. Life will be difficult when we swap sides, but this buy's going to have some limitations. The hero investments in the last do mean that we have some SMGs out here, a Digo for 60. Actually, Classio can upgrade to the rifle, so it's not bad. And interesting, 60 swaps from the Dig to the Tech 9. It is interesting to see the thought process. I thought that, you know, not being able to sell guns would kind of be a cheapening of, you know, forgiveness for mistakes. But it's kind of interesting to see a player's thought process developing around where it's like, okay, I bought this. You know what? Actually, I want to go faster. Sell that, buy a Tech 9, a little bit more utility.
I think I really did like that addition, honestly. Like, especially if you have a player that just goes completely and tilts off the face of the earth and starts forcing up, and you're like, whoa, and you can calm them down and say, sell your stuff. Let's settle down and call a timeout or something. Chop's going to get an opener here. Rush finds Fang. 5v3 in favor of the party astronauts. So this is turning out to be quite nice on their side. Even though a lot of damage is taking on Chop and Rush. Ponalone, Freshie, and Cryptic. The last standing members for Boss, and they're all going to group themselves up on the A side, which means B is free and clear for the taking if they decide to poke and prod around it on the party astronauts side. Ben Lee's kind of fading off of it. I think he's just trying to see if someone's around this left corner, making sure that he doesn't play an unfavorable angle. That's exactly the case. So they're going to walk in, find out no one's here, and get a free plant.
That's nice to see. That's not bad at all. There is a little spare capital, and with Cryptic getting that kill, this retake is on.
Yeah.
They can risk it.
Maybe.
Getting this back to a 6-all, such an appetizing prospect, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah, they got good money.
Classic coming in late. This could be huge. Wolf's in the hen house. And there's the first. They're trying to save. They may not be able to. Oh, I'll pick up a little bit bold there. So Cryptic's going to be able to bring the big green into the next round, but Boss concede a 7th. Party astronauts will take an advantage out of their T side of Overpass.
Wow, that's really nicely done from the party astronauts. Surprised to see the save called so early on for Boss. I mean, you got 7K for Freshie and Darty Montana, or just Darty. I don't know why it says Montana. Anyway,
because he's Darty Montana.
Sure, I guess he could be. But the only piece that I would say is kind of important to keep up, maybe the op, because you can drop some guns if you're Freshie and Darty Montana. Outside of that, go send the rifles in, see if they can do something. But they were playing very conservatively, as Boss tends to do, and they'll call a timeout here to talk over what they want to do defensively in this final round of play of the first half. But as you mentioned, 7 rounds T-side, that is excellent for the party astronauts on a map like Overpass, which can lean very much to the defensive end.
He actually likes the Montana. I think he just dropped it at the prospect of making stickers, right? Because once you make the RMR, you have to decide what your tag is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so he stuck into Darty. Fun fact about that. Valve really doesn't like changing aliases once you have stickers. Just ask Device.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried to be Devi, and Valve said, no.
No. You're not doing that.
No, in fact, you cannot.
Nice try. Go back.
Does kind of suck for a guy like Device who's like, damn, I was trying to, you know, be able to trademark my name. And there ain't no way I'm ever getting that for the word device.
Very true.
Oh, run boost over. There's the spot. 60's got the shot. Oh my goodness, that was a great entry from 60. It's a lot of what he does for this team. He's gonna be dead to the nade. But he's found the space that he was looking for. Pulling alone, sustained fight, but he wins it. And now it's looking downright good. The reinforcements are here. And they're looking strong. Rush with a cleanup kill, but the problem is getting back for the bomb. Chop's gonna have to spend a lot of time getting back for the bomb, and at this point, they've got no utility. They've got no utility. There's a
Got a
CT
flash.
smoke, and
Oh, it's gone.
it's actually a bit of a favor. Let's Chop get this C4.
There's still a sentry here towards the B site. That's Pone alone with the AWP playing from Graffiti. Or I should say from Walkway. Either way, he's here with the AWP. But everyone else has rotated back towards A. So a B hit may be favorable. It's hard going up against Pone, I'll tell you that. See if Rush and Chop have what it takes. Smoke gonna get tossed. That might give it away. I would expect a rotation to come in soon. They think it's a fake, but there's only 23 seconds left, so yeah, it has to go. I don't even know if there's a way you can throw that smoke and fake it. All right, free plant. One waiting behind cover. Ooh,
Take those.
Shots are close.
They are, but no cigar. Another rotation back in. The question is, can you get off the plant spot? They can indeed. That's huge because nades are going to come in. There's an HE. There's some flashes, some smokes, and Chop actually getting forward. Ooh, they might not expect this. This is bold. This is a risk. And in doing so, they do clear, but Chop able to get one. Sets up his teammate for the next. There's the peak, but Pone alone has the last laugh. 5 rounds at least for Boss. They will give themselves a chance as we swap sides when we come back.
I'm a wall of danger, and I'm addicted to the wild and nature. If you give me your heart, I'll break it. I've been known to lie, I've been known to lie. I was sitting all alone on the sidewalk when you caught me by surprise. I'm a lone wolf, I die by my own rules. I know when to follow my prey, and it's right in front of me. Right in front of me. Right in front of me. I'm not of the mayhem. I would chase 100 more highs to trade. In it for chaos I'm creating. I've been known to lie, I've been known to lie. I was sitting all alone on the sidewalk when you caught me by surprise. I'm alone.
Back with the second half of play here. Party Astronauts a lead. And that speaks very well to their chances. here on Overpass. As the punish pick did seem to be quite punishing indeed. Still, some moments buoyed by an ace coming through from Fang.
Yeah.
Boss does have a little bit of life here.
Honestly, that was the difference maker. That's what gives Boss even a hope of a chance of coming out with a win here. Oh, laser precision coming through from Ben Leet on the USP. Only one shot required to drop Ponalone, his ex-teammate. 5v4 just like that, and I would imagine they're thinking that someone's going to be coming towards the A site. Boss are being very stealthy about this, not really making that much noise until they feel it's safe to do so, and even then they are walking their way towards the A site at long. Party Astronaut suspicious a little bit, poking around. Cryptic a chance to punish, and there it is. Zixi is traded out. 4v4, numbers even. Ben settled down on the pistols.
He's a pistol king, man. He's a pistol king. Freshie trying to take the space. Chop will deny. There's more to deal with. There's reinforcements here, and a nice bit of play from Chop. Keeps himself alive, keeps 3 kills going, as he continues to just have a monstrous overpass.
Yeah, Chop's one of those players that we always talk about as being, you know, someone who's under-celebrated, I suppose.
Yes.
He just kind of sits in the background, does his job, sometimes comes up with these pop-off performances, but he isn't talked about often, and he should be.
I think he's a player, a classic example of somebody's maybe too agreeable as a teammate to his own detriment.
Perhaps.
Right? Always in his rosters. He's never been the person who's put into star roles. He's never been the big hitter. He's an excellent support player, anchor, like whatever you need, he will do and does it without complaint. And then, yeah, every once in a while you just realize, man, this dude's sharp. This dude's so dang sharp.
Yeah. He can do everything, which is very difficult to find in a Counter-Strike player, but he can. He's fantastic at support. If he's required to, he'll take the entry fights and, like you said, anchors and finishes the job. It clutches. It's unreal. We'll see if he can continue here. Oh, Ben Lee, the IGL gets dinked down to 21 by the Glocks here. The Peach 50's coming in as well. 60 is going to drop to Fang. Uh-oh. Here come the anti-eco woes. Freshie manages to get one. Fresh has to save them. So does Chop. And there we go. Settle down here, Mike. But the problem is they gave up the bomb plant.
Yeah, I mean, this is a successful round. Kill 2, get the bomb plant on straight Glocks. Yeah, you'll take that every day of the week.
Oh, man. There were some Peach 50s in the mix. But
bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think 2.
Sure.
But still, even then, it was the Glocks doing the damage.
Yes. And the end result is a lot of success for Boss. Now let's see if they can pay it off. Because they're going to have everything that they want in terms of utility. They're going to have everything they want in this gun round. They can really make this punishing for the Party Astronauts. And those 2 extra casualties mean there's not really been a build-up at the bank. So here you go, Boss. Here's your chance to blow this map wide open. See if they can do it.
I feel like Fang's the wild card here. Like the potential difference maker on a map that Boss hasn't had any success in 6 months, like we talked about.
But who's the molt? Bonus
the
card?
Molt?
You'll find out when you buy Bellagio, John.
Oh my gosh. Oh, man, you keep teasing me about this game, man.
It's good. It's a good game.
All right.
Freshie's out of the server early. Lost in con. Sixty claims one more. Fang just trying to wander out and see what space he could get out towards long. That was a individual effort and individually building punish. Rush! How does he even get away with that? I'm not sure how he goes with 1 kill, but it works out. Exchanges himself, and now a 4v2. Strong positioning, strong holds. Bit of remaining information, and Boss wondering where it all went wrong.
Well, I mean, allowing Rush to do that is part of it, I would say. There's no way you should be jumping up on the railing and being able to get a fry like that when you're faced off against 2 players holding that same angle. So that was a weird one, but Rush managed to do it. Darty is the last one standing, and now he's no longer standing. Chop taking his legs out. 10-5 in favor of the Party Astronauts. Double digits hit. Everything looking rosy for them. They shut down the buy-up for Boss Mike. And now the economy's kind of rough on their side. This is Yeah.
This is dire, right? As messy as it got against the pistols, well, you keep it clean against the rifles. Who cares? If you can't pay it off in the gun round, doesn't matter if you get success with the Glock. So, Boss, onto the techies, onto the half-buy, maybe one of their last forays. They'll get one good rifle round, even if this doesn't work out. Loss bonus is maximized at this point, but they're looking for a quick hitter in towards B. Old classic, never fails. If nothing's working, a monster hit's working. That's what I know, and here we go. The Tech 9s are a problem. Molly comes out late, but all the bodies are here. They've stacked this up. They anticipated this call. Still, the pistols are causing problems. Reinforcements now on. HE to round off. Bentley and 60 have work to do. Drop on in. Bentley trying to maneuver here, dodging the flashbang. Actually, 60 gained some altitude to try and peer in. Thinking they might expect heaven to be clear at this point, but it's not to be. The reinforcements on. Bentley's lost. They only have to deal with heaven. Oh, and Cryptic will finish off the last. Party Astronauts, man. They've never seen a pistol round they didn't like to lose to.
Oh my god. Stop losing half-buys and ecos, Party Astronauts. Stop losing against those.
I will say, good bit of shooting on the Tech 9, but dry peeking into many Tech 9s out towards Monster. The utility's a little bit late. The Molotov's not quite on point. They had all the money. They had all the util. They had all the nades. You don't have to fight them there.
No, you don't. I really do want to give credit to Boss, though, regardless. Like, they hit the shots that looked great in doing so. The Tech 9 push was quick, effective, and spicy.
Now this is much more difficult. You got a 5-7 on rush.
Yeah.
This should have been your moment to choke the life out of them. You had the read, too. You had the stack on the right side.
The
bodies were all in towards B.
It's just Boss winning fights, and like you said, Party Astronauts being a little careless in the way they position themselves. You did.
Repeaking the boost when you've already been spotted. That's bold. That's wild from Ben Leet. Oh, what we expect from the veteran leader of the squad at this point. Banks gained some ground. They don't know about Classia yet. Here they come on the clean. Shadow gives it away, but the duck under's enough. 60's got his work cut out for them if they're going to hang on to this. They bought into the op without their usual opper. That means life's going to be difficult. I like the diligence from Boss. Make sure nothing's going to catch you off guard towards the long. But Party Astronauts have decided to gamble, and they're gambling right. They got the bodies in the right position for this hit to come through.
Ben burning alive there in the Molotov. Manages to get away from it.
20
Yeah,
seconds.
Boss. Yeah, 20 seconds left for them to make a play. It would be such a shame if the clock is their enemy here in this round after everything's going really well. Finally, Cryptic goes in, gets the instant frag. That should do it. Freshy finds Ben Leet. 60 and Chop still standing, and 60 connects for one. Now they just got to tuck. I mean, it's a 4v2. You don't have to
Look at the flank.
here.
Look at the flank as well. Darty Montana is coming back up on the flank, so they're going to try and save these guns, and Darty's got them dead to rights. Or should do, at least. There's the one. Not quite the second. So Chop at least can get this up, get it out of there, try and pay it forward into the next round. But Boss now get a chance to make their case.
Party Astronauts.
Taking the jump down. That's cheeky.
That is.
Does he live here? No.
Uh-oh, yeah.
No.
Oh, no, wherever he goes, he runs into a gun.
Op delivered to
That's a
Pone alone,
shame.
too.
Indeed, that is even more problematic. Pone alone. Hand delivered to him. AWP is available. 7th round found for Boss. And I mean, look, I guess the Party Astronauts just like to make things interesting. You know, losing the anti-ecos a couple of times. Boss are allowed to get back into it. And now they're just stuck on default pistols. P2K in the mix there for Rush. He's hanging on to that one. While everyone else joins the meta with the USPS.
USPS.
USPS. Classic.
I actually kind of think the P2K might be better in 2, but the USPS just sounds so good.
Well, it depends. Like movement-wise, you have more accuracy with the USP, but the P2K, yeah, I haven't really tested it too much. But you get an extra bullet, which always helps.
I just go based on vibes on this, so.
Okay.
The vibe is the P2K kind of nice in CS2, but the USP still feels better.
I think so. I think the USP is still better, honestly.
It's really just about coolness factor, and the P2K just sounds kind of lame. Freshie gonna get caught here? Oh my goodness, Freshie. Oh no, the timing. What? Huh? There we go. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that was weird.
Could have knifed him. What was going on there? I mean, if they can get an AK out of this round, that's not great. Fang, don't die. 2 AKs out of this round. Straight USPs, and now they've got 2 rifles. Did Freshie DC?
I'm not sure. Maybe.
Because that's a weird spot to be
It
holding.
is very weird.
Without being wary of the ladder. No, he's buying right back in. Doesn't seem to have.
Just wasn't aware of the possibility. I mean, Fang was there too. Well, not exactly next to him, but he was also in the vicinity. So maybe he was just watching and expecting someone to come from
I just don't know
playground.
why you're not aware of the ladder as a chance.
It's weird, yeah. Maybe he thought it was being watched. Maybe he felt like it was secure enough they didn't have to check it. Who knows? But it's a couple of AKs delivered to the party astronauts, and that will help their buy up immensely because now they can have full util and they have the one-shot headshot capability. That beautiful AK. Yeah, engaging. Spraying away. That was a dangerous fight from T, and luckily he doesn't take any damage. And 60, he finds the head of Fang. There you go. The AK is already making a difference into this round. That's the man advantage for PA as well, as Boss are going to have to readjust themselves. They still haven't decided where they want to go, as you can tell from the bomb being dropped right outside of T spawn. Hoping to find a path in with a frag here.
Oh, the timing.
Oh,
the
timing.
He even second guesses it. We could just see it coming. It's like watching a car crash in slow motion. Poor Freshie. Victim of time. Oh, and Cryptic can't zero in that kill, so this one's a done deal. This one's a disaster. This might even just be Ponalone trying to save the op, but he's got a lot of time to work on that. 50 seconds. Now he's been spotted. First kill found, a fadeaway shot. A lot more time to try and keep this big green gun cooking.
It's gonna take a lot of work here for Ponalone, like you mentioned. He's gonna get flanked out. Yep, he is. Probably just gonna try and grab the op if he can get there. Yes, he can. Absolutely. Plenty of time. And then Ben Leet upgrades himself a little bit as well. They only get 1 AK out of the round, but that's okay because the op is more important to get into 60's hands. 11-8 in favor of PA. Still enough money in the bank for Boss to buy up here. But that was just a round that you felt like they should have been a little more competitive in at the very least because PA don't lose a body.
Yeah. Last hurrah for Boss.
Or
Bank
they do
is
lose a body.
emptied. Party astronauts are hunting for map point here. But they've got what they want. They've got the op, they've got the utility. Nothing towards the A side of the map just yet. They've had a tendency to lean B. At least early into rounds. And that's not going to change here. They're going to go back to this monster hit. They've had some success here. They're trying it again. Already util down. Rush on the angle. The smoke timing. That's pretty nice. But they're past it. Flashbang's good. Oh, the spam on the next. Chop knows he's got an angle. While he will run out of bullets, the trade is there. He even tagged up Ponalone on the other side of this.
Did Pone miss that molly completely? Sorry, I was just watching that before, Mike. It looked like it landed in Monster. Like,
Didn't do what he wanted it to.
No, definitely not. And that doesn't help things.
Are they going to save this? 50 seconds. And if they keep these guns alive, they'll be able to use them in the next. And yeah.
No, it's a save.
They're conceding. 40 seconds. That's not how you want to see map point hit the board, but Boss is going to concede. Boss is going to save here. That's a bitter pill to swallow.
Yeah, really is. I mean, they lost the bomb. The bomb was out first, which shouldn't have happened, and that was the difference maker for them. There's just very little chance of them being able to get that back. based on their current situation and HP available to them. They did have the nade and a Molotov that they could have tried to use, maybe the smoke as well. But there's just so much presence here that odds are very low. And if you lose all these guns, your loss bonus isn't that great. Party Astronauts trying to punish. Oh, that's a nice jump from Ben, but Freshie is in a position to punish him here behind the box. It doesn't really matter, though. There's still plenty of money for the Party Astronauts to buy here, and they're on map point.
Right on the precipice of destruction. Not alone. What can he do with this big green? It's Freshie's going to be first contact here. In con. 60 on the other side. Whoa, Jiggle alerts him. Actually, big pressure up top. So they're looking to take it. Ponalone might eat that nade. It's not how you want to start, but that makes it a little bit sweeter. Takes down his counterpart on the other side. 60 out of play. Man advantage now, boss. Slow things down. They don't react too heavily to that. Spotted the players bailing out. They'll take this space. They want to work forward on A. On their eyes, crossing their T's, making sure that con is clear. But a third player from Party Astronauts has floated up to the defensive A. There's a lean here. Oh, and that scope just got hit. That's an audio cue on. That's confirmation for Ben Leet. He knows his old comrade is just around the corner. So they're not going to flinch from this triple setup.
What a flash.
Good execution. That's nicely done. And Ben Leet somehow avoids getting dropped here by Fang.
And he does damage.
Finally hunted up, but look at the time now, 25 seconds. Do they want to risk rotating down with no information that a player could be pushed con?
There's no time. I mean, if there is, it's very limited. They have to go A at this point.
Here they go. 15 seconds. No time to spare. Bomb drop. That'll need to be recovered. There's no second chance here. 10 seconds on the clock, and down it goes. It's all falling apart here. 5.
They got it. They got it.
Oh, nothing to spare, but it's up to Chop. Down with the clutch. Comes flying through the smoke, and that might have been a little bold. Cryptic on the angle. Boss, just barely. 2 seconds to spare, but they've done it, John.
That was too close for comfort if you're Boss. I mean, Klassia almost securing it himself. He does get dropped, and I like the initiative from Chop just to charge through the smoke and try to make it happen, but he was spotted. Fang had the beat on him, and it's good to see that he was able to contribute a couple of frags at critical junctures. In fact, use the AWP to get one of those. Time not going to be called by the Party Astronauts, looking at their money, saying, guys, this isn't that good, but maybe we can scrounge together a buy. Perhaps we should be more conservative here. We still got 3 rounds to close this out. I would say that, yeah, the conservative buy would be the better decision in this situation. Not to mention that if you do get run down to round number 24, you at least want to have some economy available to you. So just going for pistols into this one is definitely a good idea if you're Party Astronauts. Keep the economy strong.
Yeah, but hear me out, though. How sick would it be if they all bought Novas and won with that?
You know, I haven't seen the shotguns enough, especially on like eco rounds. They're not expensive. You know, you can buy into them and take a chance and risk it, but teams don't want to do it.
I mean, Rush is keeping 5,600. He could have put a little bit more behind this.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Loss bonus is kind of tanked, though, so they'll keep maximum moolah. And okay, goodbye, Chop. Goodbye, everybody else. Keeping it clean as can be. To the surprise of no one, the unarmored pistol's not exactly having the biggest impact. Y'all aren't ready for this Ben Lead 5-7 ace, though.
1v5. Hey, look, it would be the play of the qualifier. And no. Pone alone handles it easily. And that's going to be a 10th picked up for Boss, but here comes the true test, the buy-up for the Party Astronauts. If Boss can hold them off here, then overtime feels like almost a certainty. No op available, though, for the Party Astronauts because they need that util. You know, Mike, I'm really surprised to see the A1S
I do
being
know,
the
Mike.
favored. Yeah, good. I'm glad you know yourself. But yeah, I'm really surprised to see the A1S be the favored rifle to come through in CS2, and the A4 doesn't really see that much usage at all.
I think it's the value for money of having the extra flashbang, and
Yeah.
also just smoke spam is so powerful, right?
That is true.
Smoke spam, keeping yourself off the radar while you do so is so huge.
Especially with the way smokes work in CS2. No, I do agree. I figured the extra 10 rounds for the A4, if you're in like a situation where you need to try and clutch it out, it's a better gun to have. But I agree, like the benefits of the A1S, especially with smokes, certainly hard to argue.
Timing on that from Classy. Turn
think there's
around.
yeah.
Not aware. I think they might have just spotted him when he's ducking down on that info hop. But shot in the back, that's not going to be ideal. Ben lead again in this spot. Does he have a flashbang to call for from his teammate this time? Well, that's a little bit of a sloppy clear there.
Oh,
Ben's gonna
what?
get both. He'll be traded, but he's done his work. He set up his team with a chance. But it's a chance that may be fast dwindling. Fast dwindling, even. Well, I'm going to be down. Do they just want to save this? We're headed towards overtime now. Money's going to be very poor for Party Astronauts. It seems like they're going to give this a look. And, well, okay, that makes the decision for him.
I don't know if he'll be able to get away, though.
No, Cryptic chasing this. The timing is poor for Rush. Shot in the back. And shot on down.
All right. Well,
Didn't expect this.
no, definitely not. Boss looking far more competitive here against the Party Astronauts than did against Nouns yesterday, which is obviously fantastic for them. Fang able to be a lot more implicated here against the Party Astronauts than he was Nouns, which is also good to see. But PA, last time out being used here because, well, it's the last opportunity to even call it. What do you get here? It's just going to be MP9s across the board with the FAMAS sprinkled in. Some util. This is a dire buy-up. Not unwinnable, but odds are quite heavily favoring Boss.
It's been 3 rounds in a row to get to this point.
Mm-hmm.
4 for Boss to take it to overtime. They're feeling the possibility in a map where they were down and out for so much of it. Clawing, fighting their way back in. Now, they're giving themselves the chance and they just need to seize it. One more. And this battle back through. Early smokes from Boss, anticipating the Molotov, trying to take a space towards B, and it's the light sight. It's just chop here. 60 gets a kill early, very aggressive on the flank. That's going to put them on notice, but it might funnel them in towards B, and there they go. There's no one else here. Party Astronauts win for some risky gambles. Well, they will have an early flank. While they will have early presence in towards short, they need to do more than that. Oh, no, Cryptic.
That is very tough to lose Cryptic in that situation because you had a 4v4. You had the advantage in terms of positioning, and now the Party Astronauts can charge back in and gain that water control, so you don't know where they're going to come from.
Comes the hit. Waiting at the choke point util, waiting out these smokes. Nice nade in. That's a good shot for Pone alone. Secures Monster. But a short they're going to have to worry about. They're waiting on this fade. And Lee trying to get his teammates in, but that's a great hold from Pone. The final kill found as well, and he propels this team to overtime. He keeps them fighting, he keeps them in it, and he locks it down. We're getting more rounds.
This is what Pone alone has done for the Boss roster time and time again. He carries them on his shoulders, gets those critical op frags, and right there at a moment where they needed to be perfect, where they had a mistake from Cryptic, wandering a little too far into water, he capitalizes and also gives Darty the space to get another frag on the board. 12-12, they're in overtime, and a chance to make amends for what was a rough start to this map, and a lot of rough rounds, to be honest, but Party Astronauts, a couple of key anti-ecos are the reason why they have to fight through overtime instead of sending it to map 3, map 2 already. Reminiscent of Ancient for PA, huh?
Absolutely is. Big out for us. Ben, good flash bang. Classia sets him up, but the timing could not have been better. Good wobble combo from them, especially considering Classia is the stand-in. The bodies are hitting the floor for Boss, one after another. Nothing worse than being the team that let the lead slip. Just instantly it all comes together. I feel like we're saying this every game.
It happens almost every game in overtime, honestly. It's quite wild.
It's wild how much CS is a psychology game. Putting a team away is the hardest thing to do.
It is. Also, nice flash from Classy, and I actually wanted to point this out. He took care of the flash duties and the support duties really well up to this point. I mean, coming into this series, 0.84 thrown, only behind Ben, and 0.06 flash assists per round. That's really good for a player that's just coming into the server and subbing in, but he's still able to kind of sync up with the executes.
It's nice to see. Link's starting to draw closer. I need these kills quickly, and it's just not going to happen. Not at all. So, Party Astronauts hold strong in the first round of overtime. Get this defense going the way they thought it should have in regulation. Let's see if they can just, brush this whole thing off. Let it go. I will say, already for Boss, for a map that they have not played, that they have not won since September, haven't played since the start of this year, this is a pretty damn good showing.
It really is. And I mean, you're looking at Fang, for example, who had a few key rounds that could have been a difference maker. So perhaps having him on the roster now helped propel them a little bit forward, and certainly did in that first half with the ace that he found. And I'd say Pone alone has also stood out as a key piece on the team right now on Overpass. So maybe they should think about rotating into their pool again. Perhaps they'll find some success and deepen it a little bit. Good opener from Classia.
Slow crawling pace. So the clock became an enemy for both teams in regulation, as it so often does on Overpass. But here's the thing, right? Party Astronauts are in a triple B stack, and the question is, when do they go for an info play? Because they've seen nothing on this side of the map. There hasn't been a single smoke or flash thrown. But they're just sitting in it. Classy's jump spotting. Oh, here comes the util. Here comes the motion. Gotta get that molly in now. Perfect timing on it. Darty even goes through. Oh, good shot hit from Sixy. There's Classia back in. And they hold strong. The two players in defense, it's enough. And though Sixy will falter, now his teammates are here. Now there's reinforcements on, and Classy just continues to hold the site. Pone alone against the world. 30 seconds of time. And he's going to try and bail out. He's going to try and back away, because at this point, it's not all peachy keen. Look back in, a reroute of this fight, but what's he going to do? 15 seconds. He might just try and save this AWP.
Yeah, money's low, so he might need to.
Not alone. Problem here. And indeed, time is expiring. Clock is running out, and Pone alone, fortunate to die just before that timer did. The AWP will not live, nor will anyone from Boss. Party Astronauts making this happen again.
Yeah, he'll get the op back. Maybe they can do some creative accounting here to make sure everyone has rifles, but no, Cryptic sacrifices his money to get the AWP, and instead we'll have the MAC-10. Oh no, they have enough. Okay, I take that back. So they do have enough for 4 AKs in the op. That might be why Pone alone decided to just take the fight, because I said, look, you're going to have the op anyway. It doesn't matter. Just have some fun. 14-12 in favor of the Party Astronauts. That was just a really nice play from Classia. And Sixy in particular gave Classia that comfort zone, right? By holding long, finding that frag, so that Classia could peek around and take care of business over at Bathrooms. And, I mean, he not only finds that one, but the follow-up afterwards. Just, again, subbing in, doing a great job. This guy needs a team. If you're looking for a player, guys, just saying. Like, I'd love to see him find a permanent home.
It's true. It's true. Especially as a young guy who, I mean, he made his reputation when he was very young.
Yeah.
You would like to see him have an opportunity to grow beyond that in a team environment.
Absolutely.
Player slips down the steps. Fortunate to not meet the business end of 6C's off, I think. 45 seconds. Time getting low again, but this seems like it's going to be a straight B execute. Especially as the lurker gets caught up top. That actually does pull the rotation. Ben wants to come up. Molotov timing's good. There's the ticks. Now they know. Now they know. Players coming through, but the flashbang's lethal. 30. Only one. He caught the edge of that flash as well, forced out by the Molotov. Russians need some space. Oh, they don't know! And it all falls to Fang. The world to fight, to battle. He's only got 15 seconds for this. Has to pick up the bomb even. There's just no chance. There's no time. They're not giving him the fight. They're not giving him the opportunity. And Ben will give him the uppercut blow to finish this off. 15 on the board. 3 more chances to close this map of Counter-Strike.
Very clean from the party astronauts there. Wow. Timeout going to be called. Not sure if it's technical in nature or it's just a change of the halves. Could be that. But 15 rounds. Party astronauts looking so very good. They just like to get to overtime, Mike. I think they just like to play an OT. They want their wins to come in an MR15 environment, not MR12. So they're now looking for one more. I think this was actually a tech pause.
I think you're right. They're just trying to play MR15. Ben Leet and Pone Alone both in the same server. It's got them feeling nostalgic. They're like, let's play some more rounds, bro. Overpass was their map together too, thinking about it.
It was, yeah.
Ben Leet and Pone. I do wonder if Pone Alone's the impetus of trying to work Overpass back in the pool. It's always been a map he's liked.
Possibly. And, I mean, given this performance, I would say they should consider it. Definitely.
Yeah. Let the old man frag.
Yeah.
Already
Oh,
down. What?
Nice
Call that
response.
off, but Cryptic's able to follow it up. There we go. Advantage boss. As the short push does work out. He can control out here towards long. Classy and Ben. The op on the other side of things. Just now, Rush starting to work his way up. Classy is just caught in the open. Not a duel you want against the AWP at that range. Let's see if they can still do anything with this.
It feels like there are different minds right now. Rush kind of looking down the bottom of connector. Ben Leet waiting at long. Finally, it looks like they're going to get the same idea. They have an even fight here, a 2v2 technically going on to the A site. They're going to have to drop one of the most dangerous players on boss. That's Pone Alone.
Talk about what Boss have done. They were disruptive, right? Aggressive out the front. You can tell by the fact that Party Astronauts haven't even really thrown a nade yet. Never got to execute their plans. Ben takes this trade, but he takes a bullet to the face in the same token. He's now one nade away from death, and there comes the nade. So Boss, once again, dragging this back. It's snap points all the way down for Party Astronauts, but they've already had 4 of these, John.
They have. Might be a good idea to close it out here if you're PA. Otherwise, it feels like Boss are surging upwards. Kind of curious to see how Ancient's going to play out. We can't forget, though, that Party Astronauts are playing with, with a sub, not a sub for the op, but 6E isn't their usual opper. It's usually Wolfie, and Classy is coming in as the rifler. So there are going to be some hiccups, I would say, that'll come through on their side. Even though they were still making some mistakes yesterday. Bentley's going to get the opener, though. Let's see if they can close it out now. 5v4 in their favor. That's an excellent start. Mid has been cleared out. Nade sails through. Classia, though, Gets traded. That's important. Bentley was right there to ensure that his death was not in vain. Man advantage retained, but Fang finds a freebie. No response this time. Chop looking for something, not going to get anything. And in the meantime, Fang also frags Rush. 60, last one standing, but he has a free bomb site. He can get the plant. And if you want to look at someone who can clutch it out, 60 is that man.
See if he can do it. Vintage Dan Wu. Bomb now down. The world falls away. His headshots are boss, but what better man to deliver them? Bass Pro Shop hat. It's turned backwards. It's action mode now. On the Crocs. There's first contact. He's shown face. He wants to fight forward. They're not expecting that. The transfer. Oh, it doesn't land. Brilliant attempt there, but not going to happen. Defuse on, and we're going to come to the precipice again. 15 to 14, right on the edge. Do or die. And Boss just need one more to send us to double OT. One more, John. One more.
One more. Can they get it? So far, pretty good CT side. Party Astronauts got that opening frag in that previous engagement with just Fang at the end of all those trades, finding one without a response and Chop trying to activate himself at the same time, but also losing the fight. That really tilted things in the favor of Boss. Yes, 60 gets the bomb plant and tries to clutch it out because the bomb site was vacated, but it was unfortunately for PA too little too late. And fortunately for Boss, now they have a chance to make amends in double OT should they win this one. Are they going to get cheeky with some aggression this round? It doesn't really look like it. They're playing much more passive, much more defensive CS here on their CT side. Alone just locked in.
Yeah. Scoping down long here. Ooh, forced off by a flashbang, but they are coming his way. Oh, there's the Dan Wu effect. There's that 60 shot. Lethal. Home Alone scoped in, didn't even realize he'd swung now. That's pressure on. He's been their hero. Their hero's now gone. Shattered. So how can they respond? Double push in towards long. They might expect this to be a late position. And Boss is hoping for it, counting on it. Getting active. Flashbang's good. Trade's better, but it's Cryptic who's left standing at the end. Still, they're going to funnel right past him, recognizing it's a double long setup, say, okay, fine, you have long. We'll take the bomb site. It's all going to come down to this post plant. 3 alive for both sides. And all to play for. Bathrooms control established. How does Cryptic want to approach it? That's the big question. Does he stick out towards long, or does he wrap bathrooms? They're anticipating the bathrooms play, but Molotov on to make them uncomfortable. And Rush, the only one on the site to hold the line here. It's available. Rush spotted. Rush eliminated. There's no smoke, though, and now the long presence is gone. They're going to have to fight this. They're going to have to brawl this. A Molotov can be dropped. That's exactly what they do. Now they'll force the long peek. Chop needs to swing. Bentley will do the first. Chop can't deny it. We're going to double overtime. He picked the wrong target, John. He picked the wrong target.
Oh my god. Like, just a comedy of errors, it felt like, there for the Party Astronauts. They couldn't find the right space to take, and I do like the idea, right, to go for that long player, but you could have just left them alone. I mean, it wasn't really a threat anymore to you. Just stack up, have one player at short A, have one over in the bathrooms, and then you can watch the bomb safely. Instead, they kind of let some space be gained by the Boss onto that site. The smoke is thrown, and afterwards... not the smoke, excuse me, just the Molotov is thrown into bathrooms and really makes life difficult, and they could never really pick the targets correctly. And a credit to Boss, I mean, they were kind of body blocking the bomb planter in some ways. It was a little bit to the right, but still. Fang is going to get the opener here, and if you're the Party Astronauts, you are absolutely and totally kicking yourselves right now. That is, what, 7 opportunities to close out the map that you've let slip away?
Yeah. Yeah. I know, it's tough. Advantage on. Rush tipping this off. Ain't not worth it, but the double short push players now, they're wise. to the fact that there's a connected player, and look at all this space, look at all this information. They can rotate up, they can stack the A site. It is indeed A that Party Astronauts want to get onto. Flashbang sets up Fang. Not well enough, apparently. Rush, what a shot! Blinded up, still hits it. Now 40 seconds, here comes the take. And Boss have not been super active on this rotation, on this pushback up. Freshie and Darty need to get moving. Cryptic's found one. No more. The rotators aren't here. The bomb's going to go down. They're planning it for bathrooms. That could be an issue, but they've just been so slow on Boss's side. Freshie and Darty, what's taking so long? No in here from the connector, and
What?
they're backing away. They're saving.
Huh? Guys,
They're
you
saving.
don't have to save rifles in overtime. It's okay. You can go.
They're saving. They don't fancy it. They don't fancy it. They're gonna back off.
And the AK has value, but even then, okay, the positioning
You
wasn't
got-
great, but I don't
here's
know.
the thing. This is Overpass. You push Monster. You know
Yeah,
there's no
I
one
agree.
there. You've got con control. You know no one's there. You know they're threatening the A site. You gotta get up connector. Help
Look-
out your teammates.
I'm with you, Mike. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. That's it. Like it's
The devil right now is screaming at them, bro, go up gone.
Party Astronauts, they win a round on T side. It came a little late, but they do get it.
Hello, Gandalf.
Yes, Gandalf barking away there. He's trying to tell He's trying to tell Boss, guys, you should have gone.
He's like, I know my name's Gandalf, but you can pass.
Yes,
Go
you
up
can.
Gone. I mean, once their two teammates are dead, I can understand the logic. It's not something I just personally ascribe to, but if you're trying to drop the op, like there's a possibility that you're gonna need to save here. You see Pone alone spot down to 100. Honestly, one of them should have dropped him the op so he could get more utility. Don't know why they wouldn't have done that if they went for the double save, but it's just a question of need to push up, need to help out your team. Elbow taken off. Darty Montana now low. Off a rip.
Whew.
And Darty now finished off. 6-0. Ends what he began.
60's, he's got some style when he uses the op, I'll tell you that. Just the way he peeks it, you know, the aggression that comes through. He's still going for entries, even with the AWP. Oh, nice boost, yeah. On the site, Cryptic manages to spot out Rush, who's just trying to get into connector, thought he was safe, but not to be. So
That's a massive risk.
It
and
is.
It pays off. Here comes the hit. They've got 3 bodies here. They're ready for it. Cryptic, first contact. They're burning. They're under pressure. They're churning. And they still need to get this bomb planted down. Pone alone will catch one. But it's this battle on the site that matters the most still. Pone alone going to be creeping down lower. They actually tagged. HE on, and it's all good for Boss.
Okay, Boss. Not going to allow another clean sweep to come in for the Party Astronauts in an overtime, even though they got one of their own, of course. Push this double OT.
I will say for Party Astronauts, I have not noticed a lot of willingness to abandon the plan and go towards B. It seems like wherever they take first contact, wherever they have that early lead, that's where they're trying to finish, right?
Yeah.
There's not a lot of fluidity through the connector rotate. You know, we're not seeing like a lot of alerts. It's kind of like 5 out. It's interesting. This one, they'll keep some more options open. A little bit more of a spread default around the map. What do they got to show for it? Cryptic has come to try and meet them here in Con. Really spent early on that to a lost. Fang just straight up setting up for the fight. Not winning it. Good flashbang. Better kill. Cryptic lost as well. Now 4 on 2. Party Astronauts looking to take the lead into the half switch. Bomb's making its way over. Darty had a moment where he might catch. Actually, after they've stalled out, let's see what Darty can find. 2 players are still down. Ooh, Darty's just been missed. Just been missed. He hears these footsteps. Trying to maximize his positioning. All about the space. Now there's the turn. He's got 3. No. Almost. Sets up Freshie with the attempt at the clutch. But as Freshie walks the smoke, he finds himself right in Classia's crosshair. And we got a lead for Party Astronauts. This has been an absolute slog, but they're in the lead once more, John.
Yeah, what an effort by Boss, right? And Darty in particular just misses getting the 3K spray down, which could have tilted it in favor of Boss, but the Party Astronauts hang on, and the timing for Freshie, not great coming out of that smoke. 17 rounds found for PA. Match paused again for them to talk things over, or just maybe a technical issue that needs to be worked out. But look, we're in double OT, second half of it. Party Astronauts, they've had their leads, they've had their opportunities to close out this map. I feel like Boss just keeps surging upwards and like threatening consistently that they could come back and take this at this point.
I mean, overtime is anyone's game. It's always anyone's game. The rules get thrown out the window. The logic is gone. Madness reigns. Only madness, John. And the madness appears to have given us a little bit of a technical delay here, unfortunately. But hopefully that'll be resolved quickly. For the moment, you get to look at our faces. Apparently a headset died. Classic.
Oh, yeah.
So hopefully that doesn't need to charge for too long. Otherwise, we could be here for a moment.
Just swap batteries.
Swap batteries. That's what I've got in mind. It's quite nice. But hey, that's why maybe you need corded headsets if you're actually playing live.
I still prefer them.
You do, but you're old school.
I am a little bit.
If it wasn't available as technology in 1999 when Counter-Strike was released, you're not interested.
Oh, come on now.
Actually, that's not true. This guy buys the newest graphics card every time, even though he does not need them at all. It's like, yeah, I got the latest 4090. It's like, John, what are you? Oh, I'm just gonna play Counter-Strike.
To be fair, I did not buy the 4090. I only buy it, and I only upgrade my graphics card when it's double the performance. When I can get double what I had previously, I will upgrade. So I had a 1080, I went to a 3090, and that was that. So I'm waiting a little bit still, Mike. But yes, I do upgrade a lot.
Mans likes the tech. Likes the tech.
I do love the tech.
As much as you might be old school. Speaking of the tech in this server, man, Party Astronauts are struggling to put a team away, right? Like they should have had this round, this game at so many different junctures. Lost rounds to Eco, lost rounds to Force Buy, lost rounds to blunders, man up situations that they can't close. It's the mental hurdles for this squad.
It really is. And like, again, they're not playing with their usual five, so that can be a little bit of a problem. Yesterday, it was Rush that was missing. Today, it's Wolfie that's missing. So, you know, it always creates some sort of coordination issues with a roster when you have that type of situation. But still, I mean, there's only so long where you can make the excuses for them. Eventually, you have to close out those rounds where it should, even if you have a sub, be pretty straightforward. And there were 2 anti-ecos in regulation that gave Boss that path forward back into it. I should say 2 ecos for Boss and 2 anti-ecos that Party Astronauts let slip away. And now we're stuck here in overtime where neither team can really find that finishing blow.
Oh, there we go. I was just going to ask for an ETA, but it appears that we are back in game. We are back ready. So whatever hedge set has been fixed, flipped, switched, gone to a spare, harness the power of the sun. Someone's just not going to hear. It's all good. One way or another, we're getting through this. Let's see if PA can finally get through this and close, or if Boss can keep us going once more. PA looking to find their 8th map point. Oh boy, Rush though caught. He's tried this cheeky play, just the casual push out a couple of times, and this time it cost him.
To his credit, it did work previously, so I don't blame him for trying again, but that time he was just completely caught with his pants down.
Fool me once. Shame on you. And twice. Can't get fooled again! Provolone, it's the no-scope! Boss starting to get the momentum. It's headed in towards B. What can Ben lead to? Needs to be the hero.
We're here.
Well, he wasn't the hero. We've skipped forward in time. The short player in shot. They should know he's here. Oh, 6. He collects one from on high. Does that distract enough from Chop? Tries for the spam. Can't land it, but he's got the kill. He pulled the player off. Oh, if only there was an HE here for 60. This round was on. As it stands, he's still going to face forward, but a Molotov limits his options. And now, what can he bring through? Goes to the USB. He's been spotted. He's been tagged. He's out of there. There's just no point to it. There's no point to it. He's going to back away. We're going to have 17 all here, John. That's Boss strike first.
Nicely done for Boss. I mean, look, the first frag coming through a rush was around that corner, and Darty spots him out. That was excellent. But after that, finding the second as well and giving themselves a 5v3, beautiful. You see that there was some fight at the end of it, and like you mentioned, if 60 had a nade, it could have been a difference maker, but it wasn't available to him. Punalone dies the bomb. Doesn't matter. Freshie grabs the op immediately, and he'll drop it for his teammate, even though, you know, the money was still strong for them having won the round. So Boss, a step closer, perhaps closing this out in OT. Party Astronauts trying to get things back in order.
Reminder, folks. Boss haven't played this map this year in an official. They didn't like it before they stopped playing it. They haven't won this map since September.
It's the Fang effect, Mike.
I mean, yeah. But it's also just wild. I think a lot of this, unfortunately, speaks to PA's troubles as much as it does Boss's resilience.
Boss. All over the map at this point. We got a player in Con, a player in short A, 2 going into Monster, 1 that's over in water. That's Darty. Flashbang is thrown. I mean, feels like they're leaning into a B hit. Maybe gonna make a little bit. 60 spots out Darty. That's gonna help here on the defensive side. They're readjusting now. I'm not sure they're convinced that B is the right destination.
No, yeah, they've been fully pulled by Fang. Fully pulled by Fang here, but they're not seeing anything behind the Molotov, and with 25 seconds, now they got to make a move. Oop, that's the spot on Ponalone. That's going to send the rotation around, and Chop's fortunate. There's no monster presence. Fang dealt with. Now they can fully focus in, and Boss haven't taken advantage of the opportunity. 60 on the line now. 2 kills found. The op, lethal. Ponalone truly living up to his name, and he will fall. Match point again. The 8th such point found for the Party Astronauts. But this time, if they could just get it over the line, they can forget about all the others.
I mean, hopefully for their sake. But Boss have been so very resilient. I doubt this is going to deter them in the least. Timeout going to be called here for them to talk things over. Party Astronauts. Again, 1 step away from map number 2. And I really do feel like Boss need this one. Because Ancient hasn't been great for them at all. And they lost yesterday against Downs 5-17, 5-13. I don't know what world I'm living in. Against Take Flight, they actually did manage to take it, but it wasn't as clean as it probably should have been. 13-7 against a Take Flight squad that struggles on that map. And I believe actually, if you look at the way Party Astronauts played against them, it was a little bit better, 13-5 in their favor. So I don't know. Ancient is one that I lean towards the Party Astronauts pretty heavily, even without having Wolfie there. Boss need to try and find a way back into this one. It's 1 round required to get triple overtime.
Boost up, the shot lands, 60, and now the late boost. This could be huge. And lead hasn't spotted yet, but Tardy's in the vicinity. Don't want to sustain this for too long. They might wait till the smokes fade. Now they're backing off. 5v4 established, and it's the big man, Ponalone, out of the server, right? He's been the difference maker. You know about Darty. That's nades on to harass. He's a little stuck. Classy only gets 1. That is going to force them to rotate numbers off. They were going for the B stack. Well, Classy at 1 for 1 is perfectly acceptable. It does mean they can't keep committing to numbers on B. This is actually being well read by Boss. Because of that kill exchange, they recognize, okay, B might be a little bit lighter. I don't know if light's the word, but... Chop ahead of this. The timing is poor, and Rush caught behind. behind. The spam's good. Oh no, PA! All the control and now hurtling out of it. What do they have in terms of retake util? There's a Molotov. That slows things down. 28 seconds. Not a lot of time left on this clock. It's all about the short player. It's all about that C4. And 60's on the angle.
Oh, wow.
He's just tossed the bomb. He's just tossed the bomb to avoid the op. And that's good enough. Good presence of mind from Cryptic. Not over-facing. Not over-fighting. 60 now, though. Gotta be the combat. Gotta be the hero. Gotta be the player. Drops on in. Loses his teammate. Desperation on the trigger. Hits one. He's got the kit. But up in towards sidewalk. Down he goes. We're going again. Triple overtime. We go for more. I mean, John, they just can't. They can't end things here.
No, they can't. So the slog continues, yeah.
That was full. You're in a 4v5, 4v3. Why are you pushing through a smoke?
One, why are you pushing through a smoke? Two, why are two people pushing through a smoke into Monster when you have the man advantage? That was a play where they literally set themselves up for failure.
It's also crazy if you think about it, because, okay, you're giving up the space. The most likely rotation point is actually short. And they're both double committed towards Monster. That leaves short as a massive window of vulnerability. Big misread from Party Astronauts.
I mean, that's like, what, their fourth, fifth round that they should have won. They didn't, and they're letting it slip away. 4v3, so little time left. You just have to wait on the bomb site and force Boss to come to you, and instead you kind of give them that opening that they needed to try and fight their way through. So, you know, it's all on Party Astronauts. They're the ones that are determining their own fate at this point.
Their own worst enemies.
Credit to Boss for being so resilient, though, because that was a nice little 2K, even though it was kind of handed to them. 60's been incredible, like,
dude,
with the AWP, though.
He has stepped up here in overtime, and this time, I mean, there's some frustration, and they're like, okay, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Assert ourselves. Get these fights. Win our duels. But again, it's just too little too late to actually close it. You give him Boss another chance, another lease at life, and the longer this goes on, the more frustration has to be building for PA. Trades there, all into Darty. This would be incredible for Darty. He's found the first. Shot lands, rotation up. There's two players here. There's a flank developing in Con. 30 seconds on the clock. But it is going to be the trade. They play well off of each other, and it's a lead again for PA.
Well, all right, guys. What's that, the third time they've won the round that they needed right after they had map point? Oh, goodness me. Well, eventually, you think they'll get it together. Maybe not. Boss seemingly always have other plans. Psychological resilience right now is phenomenal on their side, and everyone's contributing, right? There's no real player that you can look at and say, oh, they're struggling. No, I mean, they're all above 22 frags. Yes, you have 3 players that are below a KDR of 1, but it doesn't really matter because you're in overtime, and they've really managed to put things together.
Yeah, not at this point. Yeah. Not at this point. It doesn't matter. Who cares what's going to be on the score sheet as long as you can keep us fighting.
Exactly. Exactly my point.
Ooh, there's the spot.
Yep.
They've tried this boost up a couple times. It's almost worked a couple times. Ooh, there's the spot. Utility going to come out. Nade could be chunky. Cryptic's already up, and he's going to find the kill, and that's what matters most. What are they looking at? What are they looking for? Trying to make sure they're on the spot. This is some blunders made. Ben and rush down. Advantage Boss. Bomb planted. But Classia just flies out of the window. The nade might find another. Oh, Freshie's so low. He's so low and he's gone. And they're falling by the wayside. And it's a quick cleanup. Classy and Sixy. And no mistakes made between the two of them.
That was, I mean, the mistakes happened before that, right? They weren't really watching the site properly from pit. It was a very strange engagement from the Party Astronauts. And then afterwards, no more mistakes. Sixy was having none of it. Gets 3 frags, shuts them down. Great Molotov thrown, which actually had one of those frags, and a 20th round found. Party Astronauts looking for another clean sweep on their defensive side. And the boss is probably frustrated with that because it felt like they would be able to squeeze it on through and tie this one up once more, but I mean, pretty much Sixy had other plans. Okay,
Boost
good
up.
trade. Yeah.
Let's get the trade. Chasing it with the nades, but they're long gone. 60 doesn't get caught here. The forward positioning. Now 60 actually takes advantage as Fang was hungry. And do they expect Classy to push? That's the question. Does Freshie clear this? But right now, Classy's back is turned. Does Freshie check this? This is everything into the round. Oh, he's not done it. He's not done it. Oh, no. The bomb's now vulnerable. The timing on this is going to be brutal. Ponalone just slips down in towards Khan. This could still work out. Freshie could actually bail him out of this. He's not checking. Again. He's not checking. Again. Now Classia notices. And it's trouble on. This map could be getting completely out of hand. Ponalone down by the shelf. He's managed to avoid detection. But where are they taking this? They're taking this in towards B, and everybody's here. Ponalone, you got to bail out of this. 30 seconds. What's he going to do? Pick your poison. Might be heard rotating up, and... I mean, it's all about the time.
They
Chop will
definitely
beat him
heard.
here. Chop will beat him here. Certainly now, there's no secret about it. Flashbang just to try and give him the chance at the bomb plant. But Chop's going to pull him off, and it just doesn't matter.
All right. 3 more.
3 more. We hit map point 9 for the party astronauts. Gonna get a whole game of Counter-Strike in map points.
Yeah. I'm just double checking the map points right now to make sure that
It's
we're...
9. I'm keeping track.
Okay, cool. Good.
This is
So-
this is the most interesting point for me. It's how many map points we've had.
So you're saying 9 total if they lose all 3 here, right?
No,
Or
9
is this the
total
9th
with
one?
this round. Next
Okay,
round will
gotcha.
be 10.
Okay.
Yes. This is
So we're
9.
counting one at a time.
They
All right.
had 4 in regulation, 3 in the first overtime, 1 in the second overtime, and now in the third overtime, this is their 9.
Gotcha. I'm losing track, honestly, because this is getting ridiculous. But I'm glad you are keeping track of that specific stat. Party astronauts on their T side. They need 1. They need 1. Chop's going to push up here. Loses the fight immediately. No chance. Freshie taking the initiative. Darty Montana right by his side, ensuring a trade would come through if they needed it, but they didn't.
Losing the bodies. They're milling about here. It's lackadaisical. There's no utility. They're just peeking into angles alone, and they're losing everything. Party astronauts, look, map point goes on the board, and they forget how to pull the trigger. Benleet alone against the world, trying to perform the Heimlich maneuver on his team. Because they've got this map lodged firmly in their throats. That's a suffocation hazard. Well, he won't be doing it this round. So make that 10 map points. 10 map points. We might have a whole half of map points at this point.
I mean, we're nearing the point where, well, like you said, we're at 2 maps of Counter-Strike almost. MR12 CS anyway. Oh boy, Party Astronauts. Another opportunity to close this one out. This time they don't even run the AWP. They're just running AKs across the board. I kind of want 60 on the op. He's been so versatile and so mobile with it. But Party Astronauts deciding against it. Good flashbang thrown. That. Oh god,
they don't check.
guys, you got to check the boost afterwards. They don't check the boost.
He was ducked. They wouldn't have even seen it.
Yeah,
Now this is
still.
falling apart. Again, Fang pushing forward. Bring on map point number 11. Oh, this has gotten quite absurd. Quite absurd indeed. I mean, look. T-side overpass is tough. That's the problem with OT. You did the hard work. You had a 7-5 T-side half. You already did the hard work. You couldn't close. Now you got to do it against full buys every step of the way.
They just wanted to make sure they use every possible map point, Mike. I think that's what it is, right? Just don't leave any behind. Freshie going to get the frag onto Chop. Benleet, the last one standing.
At this point, man, just 5-hit monster. Just do something.
Honestly, yeah.
Don't give yourself time to overthink. Or get caught out on positioning. Just straight hit something.
I feel like they tried to go for some straight
Team
plays
Ace on
there,
Boss.
just they lost the duels.
Look, full credit
Yeah.
to Boss. As individuals, they are playing beautifully right now. As a team, they're playing beautifully right now. Backs against the wall, continuing to fight. Like, they're not missing any of these. They've been sharp. But, okay, timeout finally called here. Thank you, Party Astronauts.
Look,
Come in with a game plan, know exactly what everyone is doing, and just execute it quickly. Don't give yourselves
All
time to
I'm-
think.
all I'm saying is, if we go to triple overtime, Party Astronaut's going to win the first round. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, this is map point 11.
Yeah.
11 map points. Just gotta win the one. Just gotta win the one in the game that just can't quit. The marathon shuffle.
We're still on map 1, guys. If you're just tuning in, this is the first BO3 of the final day of the ESL Jönköping Closed Qualifier in North America.
It tells me we might be going late on the second one.
Yeah, I was going to say. That's why. Oh, boy.
Let's see. Party Astronauts holding for aggression. Lots of bodies here. They've been punished by some of these long peaks, some of these party peaks. So this time, they want to make sure that's not going to happen. And Boss are holding back. Not giving them anything early, so it's the perfect counter call for Boss. Still, this is going to afford a lot of real estate. But no, nothing out towards long. They don't actually want it. They don't actually want this. Feels like this is going to finish B. They're clearing con. It's a triple setup on B. Boss have the bodies in the right position, but actually, wait. Freshy's pushing this. Freshy's pushing this on the smoke fade. You need to have crosshairs on for PA. And here he goes. Deeper smoke. Re-clear on. Did they see Freshy on the other side of this? They're going to be going through. Delayed monster play. Freshy in the tunnel. Freshy's got the one. Don't alone another. Trades there, but Darty's still here to backstop it. Body's in the right place at the right time. Pone alone dropped.
Okay.
2-1-2. Best chance in a very, very long time to close this one out. Bomb's going down. Numbers are going to be punched in. That can't be denied. You still need Fang to get into position to come work with his teammates. So it's Fang and Cryptic, the captain and the new addition, to try and keep them fighting here as map point 11 is starting to tick away from them. Ben Leap, under heaven, under the balcony. This first shot could be everything. The duel with Cryptic. Good positioning for Classia. Players out. He's not cleared. Cryptic down. It's all on Fang. They know where he's coming from. And Classia will put the last bullet in. So 22-20 on map point 11. They finally put this one to rest. They put this one to bed. They have done it. Party Astronauts have performed the self-Heimlich maneuver, thrown themselves over a chair, and ended this choke.
Oh my goodness. And that was like, was a 2v3 or a 2v4 that they had to clutch just to get to that point?
2v4.
Like, it wasn't looking great. Yeah, 2v4 that they managed to pull off there. I mean, look, Party Astronauts had so many opportunities to close this out. They made a lot of mistakes, and I think credit to Boss for capitalizing on it, being resilient, coming out time and time again with key frags. Eventually, they run out of gas, but the Party Astronauts, they should have had this win in regulation, not to mention like a couple of the previous overtimes. Anyway, look, we're going to map number 2 finally, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Party Astronauts, you're going to be able to discount that from your mind by saying we're playing with a stand-in, right? We're playing with Classia. We don't have our opper. That's an op-heavy map, like 60 stepping into it. But yeah, it's not exactly a morale booster, even that win. But it's a relief, if anything. And now we're relieved that we'll be able to start Ancient after this short break.
Shout it out above. When I step out of the shadows.